All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am Saira Mujtaba and with me is Vaibhav Jyotsna Srivastav. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Centenary celebrations of Vishwa Bharati University Shanti Niketan today. Prime Minister to release 18,000 crore rupees under PM Kisan scheme to more than 9 crore farmers tomorrow. Memorandum signed by over 3 lakh farmers submitted to Agriculture Minister extending support to new farm laws. Cabinet approves post-matric scholarship scheme for more than 4 crore scheduled caste students. Cabinet also gives nod to merger of 4 film media units with NFDC through rationalization of infrastructure, manpower and other resources. And COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 95.69% in the country. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the centenary celebrations of the Vishwa Bharati University Shanti Niketan at 11 a.m. today through video conferencing. The Prime Minister is the Chancellor of the university. West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankar and Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank will also be present on the occasion. Founded by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore in 1921, Vishwa Bharati was declared a central university and an institution of national importance by an Act of Parliament in May 1951. Gurudev founded the university with a noble vision. He wrote, "Vishwa Bharati represents India where she has her wealth of mind which is for all. Vishwa Bharati acknowledges India's obligation to offer to others the hospitality of her best culture and India's right to accept from others their best. The university follows the pedagogy devised by Gurudev Tagore, though gradually it evolved in the format in which modern universities developed elsewhere." Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release the next installment of financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi PM Kisan tomorrow through video conferencing. With a push of a button, the Prime Minister will enable the transfer of more than 18,000 crore rupees to more than 9 crore beneficiary farmer families. The Prime Minister will also have a conversation with farmers from 6 different states during the event. The farmers will share their experiences about PM Kisan and also on various other initiatives taken by the government for the welfare of the farmers. Union Agriculture Minister will also be present on the occasion. Under the PM Kisan scheme, a financial benefit of 6,000 rupees per year is provided to small and marginal farmers, payable in 3 equal 4 monthly installments of 2,000 rupees each. The fund is transferred directly to the bank accounts of the beneficiaries. Speaking about the event, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said, on 25th of December, Atal Bihari Vajpayee's birth anniversary is celebrated as Sushasan Divas or Good Governance Day. He said, after Mr. Modi became the Prime Minister, many steps have been taken to promote good governance, ease of living and transparency. He said, DBT is an important scheme for good governance and transparency. The minister said there was a time when out of 100 rupees sent by the government, only 15 rupees used to reach the villages, but the Modi government managed to send full 100 rupees to the people directly through DBT. Mr. Tomar said the Modi government is committed to strengthening the agricultural sector. He said representatives of the Confederation of NGOs of Rural India today met him and submitted 3,13,363 signatures taken across 1 lakh villages in support of the 3 farm laws enacted by the centre recently.
A memorandum signed by more than 3 lakh farmers has been submitted to the Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, extending support to the new farm laws. Confederation of NGOs of Rural India's delegation handed over the memorandum containing more than 3,13,000 signatures of farmers to Mr. Tomar in New Delhi yesterday. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Tomar said there is enthusiasm among the farmers across the nation with respect to the new agri laws. He said these reforms were long overdue, and because of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's determination, the necessary reforms can be seen taking shape on the ground.
वर्ष 2020 में भारत सरकार ने गांव, गरीब और किसान के विकास और कल्याण समृद्धि के लिए अनेक काम किए हैं, जो निश्चित रूप से ऐतिहासिक भी हैं और अभूतपूर्व भी हैं। इन सारी कार्य योजनाओं के लिए प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को बहुत धन्यवाद मैं देना चाहता हूं कि उन्होंने ग्रामीण क्षेत्र और कृषि के क्षेत्र के लिए जो कथनी और करनी में एक रूपता सिद्ध की है, वह निश्चित रूप से बेमिसाल है।
Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar has said that the 3 progressive farm laws enacted by the Parliament are important benchmarks of good governance in the country. Speaking at the launch of 196 Better Life Farming Centres, which will be operating across 9 states, he said, reforms in the agriculture sector will aid transparency in the field and will put an end to the Inspector Raj. Mr. Tomar said contract farming will benefit even the small farmers who are now unable to sell their produce at a pre-decided and fixed price. Speaking about the Farmer Producer Organization, FPOs, he said, the centre has approved an outlay of 6,850 crore rupees for setting up of 10,000 FPOs in the country. Mr. Tomar said the 196 Better Life Farming Centres launched in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal and Karnataka will also work for the betterment of farmers along with the FPOs in these states.
The Ministry of Health has issued Standard Operating Procedure SOP for epidemiological surveillance and response for a new variant of SARS-CoV-2 virus, which has been reported by the Government of United Kingdom to the World Health Organization. This variant is estimated by European Centre for Disease Control to be more transmissible and affecting the younger population. This variant is defined by a set of 17 changes or mutations. One of the most significant mutation is in the spike protein that the virus uses to bind to the human ACE2 receptor. Changes in this part of the spike protein may result in the virus becoming more infectious and spreading more easily between people. The SOP describes the activities to be undertaken at the point of entry and in the community for all international passengers who have travelled from or transited through UK in the past 4 weeks from 25th November to date. Any reference to testing in this SOP implies RT-PCR testing only. Flights from UK are suspended temporarily from 23rd December till 31st of December or till further orders. Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan has reviewed the status of passengers coming from UK to India and those found positive in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Goa, Punjab, Gujarat and Kerala and their response measures in a meeting held through video conferencing. The Standard Operating Procedure issued by the Ministry for Epidemiological Surveillance and Response in the context of new variant of SARS-CoV-2 virus detected in the United Kingdom was discussed in detail in the meeting. The states and union territories were advised to access the details of passengers from UK to India from the online portal AIR Suvidha and Bureau of Immigration.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 95.69%. During the last 24 hours, more than 26,000 COVID patients have recovered. The Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 96,63,000. The actual caseload comprises only 2.86% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is around 2,89,000. During the past 24 hours, 23,915 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country to over 1,99,000. In the same period, 333 deaths were reported, taking the toll to over 1,46,000. The recovery rate of COVID patients in Delhi stands at 97.03%. The city recorded recovery of 1,585 patients in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered patients till date to 6,01,268. A total of 871 new confirmed cases of coronavirus were reported in the national capital during the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID cases reported in the capital city so far has reached to 6,19,618. The Delhi government confirmed that 18 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours, taking the total to 10,347. The total number of active corona cases in the city now stands at 8,003. In Uttar Pradesh, state board examinations will be based on the reduced syllabus in view of the COVID situation this year. Now the examinations of classes 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th will be based on the 70% of the total syllabus. More from our Uttar Pradesh correspondent.
The UP board has decided to reduce the syllabus of all subjects for examinations by 30%. Secretary of Uttar Pradesh Madhyamik Shiksha Parishad Divyakant Shukla said that the reduced syllabus has been provided to the principals of all the schools. He said that the reduced syllabus is also available on the website of department. The last date for filing application for class 10th and 12th board examinations has been extended till 5th January 2021. Deputy Chief Minister and Education Minister of State, Dr. Dinesh Sharma said that with the late fee, the application will be accepted till 5th of next month. He said the last date for the advance registration of class 9th and class 11th has also been extended till 10th January 2021. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Gujarat, 958 new cases of COVID-19 were detected in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate has further improved to 93.58%. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
The total number of COVID-19 cases detected so far in Gujarat has reached up to 2,38,205. Out of these, 2,22,911 patients recovered. 1,309 patients recovered during the last 24 hours. More than 92,17,000 tests have been carried out till date. Maximum 202 new cases reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 157 new cases. At present, total active cases are 11,040, out of which 63 patients are on ventilator. 6 patients died yesterday. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Orissa, COVID-19 active caseload has fallen to 2,732. While the state has conducted more than 6.7 million sample tests so far, the test positivity rate too has come down to 4.88%. More from our Orissa correspondent.
At a time when Odisha is witnessing a sharp decline in COVID-19 active cases, the state government is not taking any chances following the recent discovery of the highly infectious mutant variety of coronavirus away in the United Kingdom. Accordingly, it has made testing and 14 days home quarantine mandatory for persons arriving at the airports of the state with travel history to or transiting through the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, passengers with travel history to foreign countries are being subjected to screening at the special kiosk at the airport terminals in the state. Girish Chandra AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
In Karnataka, 958 new COVID-19 positive cases were reported in the last 24 hours. At the same time, 1,206 people were cured from the disease and discharged from various hospitals in the state. At present, 13,736 COVID patients are taking treatment across the state. Among them, 217 are in ICU. 9 COVID patients lost their lives and the total fatalities have increased to 12,038. Meanwhile, the state government announced night curfew from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. starting from today till 5 a.m. on 2nd January 2021. Night curfew has been imposed in the state as per the suggestions given by the Technical Advisory Committee.
In Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the RT-PCR test report has been made mandatory for all the passengers arriving at Port Blair Airport from the 26th of December. Accordingly, all incoming passengers are required to carry negative RT-PCR report. The RT-PCR test should be taken 48 hours prior to the commencement of the journey. The ongoing rapid antigen test at the airport would be stopped. Now there are a total of 73 active cases. 4,761 people have recovered so far. The recovery rate is more than 97%, while the test positivity rate is 2.87%. 62 deaths were reported till date. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address centenary celebrations of the Vishwa Bharati University Shanti Niketan today. Prime Minister to release 18,000 crore rupees under PM Kisan scheme to more than 9 crore farmers tomorrow. Memorandum signed by over 3 lakh farmers submitted to the Agriculture Minister extending support to new farm laws. Cabinet approves post-matric scholarship scheme for more than 4 crore scheduled caste students. Cabinet also gives nod to merger of 4 film media units with NFDC through rationalization of infrastructure, manpower and other resources, and COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 95.69% in the country. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, CCEA, has also approved 59,048 crore rupees post-matric scholarship scheme for more than 4 crore scheduled caste students in 5 years. Briefing the media, Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Thawarchand Gehlot said the central government will spend 35,534 crore rupees for it, which is 60%, and the balance 40% will be spent by the state governments.
अब जो शेयर पैटर्न रहेगा वो 60% केंद्र देगा और 40% राज्य मिलाएगा। इसका परिणाम ये होगा कि अभी तक हम 1100 करोड़ रुपए सालाना एवरेज 2-3 साल का देते थे और अब देंगे सीधा 5 गुना बढ़ा करके, और ये 5 गुना बढ़ा करके देंगे तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हम इसी साल से 5,000 करोड़ की धनराशि से अधिक की धनराशि छात्रवृत्ति के रूप में राज्यों को देंगे।
It is estimated that 1.36 crore such students who are currently not continuing their education beyond 10th standard would be brought into the higher education system in the next 5 years. The Cabinet also approved the merger of Films Division, Directorate of Film Festivals, National Film Archives of India and Children's Film Society with the National Film Development Corporation. Mr. Zawrikar said the Cabinet also approved an ordinance for extending National Capital Territory of Delhi Laws Special Provisions Act for another 3 years, giving protection to unauthorized colonies from punitive action in Delhi.
2011 में कानून बना था नेशनल कैपिटल टेरिटरी ऑफ दिल्ली लॉ। ये 2014 में समाप्त हुआ। हमने 2014 में उसको 3 साल के लिए आगे बढ़ाया, यानी ज्यादा मुदत दी 3 साल, फिर से एक बार 2020 तक दी। अब चूंकि वर्ष शीतकालीन सत्र नहीं हो रहा है तो उसके लिए और 3 साल देने का अध्यादेश को आज मंजूरी दी है। अब वो राष्ट्रपति जी के मंजूरी के बाद लागू होगा।
The Cabinet also gave its nod for signing the revised air services agreement between India and Philippines. It also gave its approval for signing the revised air services agreement between India and Afghanistan.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the Cabinet decision on post-matric scholarship will ensure greater educational access to youngsters belonging to the SC communities. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said ensuring top quality and affordable education to our youth is an important focus area for our government. In our special series Year-Ender 2020, today we bring you a report on Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Grameen. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had launched PMAY Grameen on the 20th of November in 2016 with the aim of providing housing for all in the rural areas. On the 20th of last month, the scheme completed 4 years. Addressing a public meeting in Agra after launching the rural housing scheme, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said that the government wants every Indian to have a house by 2022 and the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Grameen will benefit the working class, farmers and the deprived.
2022 में जब हमारा देश आजादी के 75 साल मनाता होगा तब हिंदुस्तान के गरीब से गरीब के पास अपना खुद का घर होना चाहिए। ये संकल्प लेकर के मैं काम कर रहा हूं और हमारे नरेंद्र सिंह जी तोमर के नेतृत्व में, उनके साथी श्रीमान रामकृपाल यादव जी के नेतृत्व में प्रधानमंत्री ग्रामीण आवास योजना का मुझे शिलान्यास करने का सौभाग्य मिला। सच्चे अर्थ में घर बनाने का काम प्रधानमंत्री ग्रामीण आवास योजना के तहत पूरे देश के लिए योजना को उत्तर प्रदेश की आगरा की धरती से मैं प्रारंभ कर रहा हूं।
Rural Development Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Grameen has immensely benefited the rural population.
प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना ग्रामीण का संचालन भारत सरकार का ग्रामीण विकास मंत्रालय करता है। इस योजना को प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने परिमार्जित भी किया। तो गांव में जो व्यक्ति निवास कर रहा है उसको अपना घर हो, घर में रसोई हो, रसोई बनाने के लिए गैस का सिलेंडर हो और घर में रोशनी के लिए बिजली हो, तो एक व्यक्ति की जो मौलिक आवश्यकताएं हैं उन आवश्यकताओं को पूर्ण करने का काम प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में इस देश में बहुत सफलतापूर्वक संपन्न किया जा रहा है।
Our correspondent reports that the program envisages the completion of 2.95 crore houses in rural areas with all the basic amenities by the year 2022.
Under PMAYG, houses are being constructed with new technologies and amenities like water, gas, toilet and electricity supply. In the first phase of the scheme from 2016-17 to 2018-19, a target for construction of 1 crore Pakka houses were set. In the second phase of the scheme, starting from 2019-20 to 2021-22, the target of construction of the remaining 1.95 crore houses has been set. As on date, a total of 1.75 crore Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin houses has been sanctioned and 1.2 crore houses have been completed against the allocated cumulative target of 2.26 crore houses. Under PMAYG, the minimum size of a house has also been increased to 25 square meters. Government has ensured that all houses constructed under PMAYG are designed properly by experts who have made it on the basis of topology and they are climate resistant homes. The selection of beneficiaries through a 3-stage validation, that is socio-economic caste census 2011, Gram Sabha and geotagging, has ensured selection of the poorest of the poor under PMAYG. The increased pace of work has been reflected in the NI PFP study, which indicated 114 days as average completion time for PMAYG as compared to 314 days earlier. The entire payments are through IT and DBT mode with Aadhaar-linked bank accounts with consent to ensure complete transparency and accountability. Anupam Mishra, AIR News, Delhi.
BJP President JP Nadda has expressed gratitude to the people of Jammu and Kashmir for making BJP the largest party in the DDC elections. In a tweet, Mr. Nadda said, "The people of Jammu and Kashmir have expressed faith in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership and decisions." He said, "The BJP is committed to the all-round development of Jammu and Kashmir and to connect its people to the mainstream." Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that the government has issued a notification to curb the menace of fake GST invoice by fraudsters or fly-by-night firms. She said the move comes following recommendations of the GST Council's Law Committee in this regard. Ms. Sitharaman said the GST laws passed by the Parliament and state legislatures provide that GST registration is liable to be cancelled for those who have not filed 6 or more returns. It is therefore wrong to say that the cancellation will be done without reasons.
National Investigation Agency NIA has arrested absconding Khalistani terrorist Gurjeet Singh Nijjar at the Delhi airport on his deportation from Cyprus, where he was hiding. He has been arrested for allegedly hatching a criminal conspiracy to revive terrorism in India. A resident of the Ajnala town in Amritsar, Nijjar left for Cyprus on October the 19th in 2017. The NIA had registered a case on January the 10th last year against Nijjar and another accused, Harpal Singh, under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 a.m. on Sunday. It will be the 72nd episode of the monthly radio program. Citizens can share their suggestions and ideas for the Mann Ki Baat program through Namo app, MyGov forum or through toll-free number 1800-117800. It will be broadcast on the entire network of AIR and Doordarshan and also on the AIR News website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR mobile app.
New Delhi has said that the India-Russia annual summit did not take place in 2020 because of the COVID pandemic, and this was a mutually agreed decision between the two governments. In response to a media report regarding the India-Russia Annual Summit, MEA spokesperson Anurag Srivastava said, any imputation otherwise is false and misleading. He said, spreading false stories on important relationships is particularly irresponsible. Russian ambassador to India, Nikolai Kudashev, said, the article published about the annual summit is far from reality. He said, special and privileged strategic partnership between Russia and India is progressing well despite the COVID-19 pandemic. Protest rallies were carried out in different cities across Balochistan yesterday against the killing of prominent leader and activist Banu Karima Baloch in Canada. Hundreds of people, including activists, gathered in various places in Quetta and Hub City, demanding a fair probe by the Canadian government into Karima's sudden death. Karima, a vocal critic of the Pakistan Army and government atrocities in Balochistan, was found dead in Toronto. The Baloch activist had arrived in Canada in 2016 and campaigned extensively against disappearances and human rights violations in the troubled Balochistan province. In a statement, Free Balochistan movement said that due to the atrocities of Pakistan, Baloch refugees were forced to migrate to neighbouring Afghanistan. It urged the UN Refugee Agency to take steps to protect and assist the Baloch refugees. And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. In Srinagar, sky will have a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was -4 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 9 degrees Celsius. In Jammu, the lower level of temperature was 7 degrees Celsius, while the upper level will be around 21 degrees. The city will witness mainly clear sky later. Leh may witness a partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature dipped to -13 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 0 degrees. In Gilgit, sky will be mainly clear. Temperature will hover between -3 and 7 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, the sky will be mainly clear, becoming partly cloudy towards the afternoon or evening. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 6 and 22 degrees Celsius. The city will have a mainly clear sky. Chandigarh may witness a mainly clear sky today. The national capital is expected to witness dense fog as the minimum temperature dipped to 4 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 23 degrees Celsius. In Hyderabad, the city may have fog or mist during the early morning hours. Ahmedabad will see a mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 13 and 30 degrees Celsius.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Most newspapers have covered the latest related to the new variant of coronavirus. Mutant virus spreading, new SA strain now in the mix, writes Hindustan Times. In some alarming news, the Indian Express reports 2 COVID-positive passengers from UK go missing at the Delhi airport. One reaches Ludhiana, another Andhra. The Economic Times has covered the course of action regarding the vaccine. The paper notes COVID jabs likely in open market between April and June. Papers have also noticed Army Chief's visit to forward areas along the LAC. The Asian Age has shown a picture of General Naravane in Ladakh, while the Statesman reports Army Chief visits forward posts in eastern Ladakh amid a border impasse. Changes to SC scholarship scheme gets government approval, says The Hindu. Cabinet note for 100% FDI in DTH service, reports The Hindu. And finally, yesteryear actress of Bobby fame Dimple Kapadia has made a comeback in cinema from different shores. The Asian Age writes, Dimple leaves everyone awestruck with performance from Christopher Nolan's Tenet.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Centenary celebrations of Vishwa Bharati University Shanti Niketan today. Prime Minister to release 18,000 crore rupees under PM Kisan scheme to more than 9 crore farmers tomorrow. Memorandum signed by over 3 lakh farmers submitted to Agriculture Minister extending support to new farm laws. Cabinet approves post-matric scholarship scheme for more than 4 crore scheduled caste students. Cabinet also gives nod to merger of 4 film media units with NFDC through rationalization of infrastructure, manpower and other resources. And COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 95.69% in the country. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a great day.